Ghani, I want to thank you all for watching this video. It is my hope that you gain new perspective and new insight on this subject, Black pride. This is a big subject. Most Black people say they are proud to be Black. Over 95% of Black people will sometimes shout Black pride, even when no one is asking. Are they real or phony? Are these empty words just something to say? Well, the answer is very disappointing. Most of the Black people who love to say they are proud to be Black do not even understand the definition, and their actions contradict those words. So let's dive into this. We all have heard the saying, and maybe we all have used the saying, actions speak louder than words. So I'm going to give you a few examples to make every point. I think the problem in most cases is that Black people simply don't understand the definition of the word pride. And they don't understand that their actions are contrary to the definition of pride. They don't have the logic to understand the inherent contradiction. So let's start with the basic definition of pride. So what is it? Here it is. To protect and preserve. Can you dig this perspective? Let me break it down for you with an analogy. Almost all Black people have a great sense of pride when they buy their first car. I'm talking about when you were young and all you could afford is a bucket. But it's your first car and you are very proud of it. How do we know that? Because you are out there washing the car more than most people wash their cars. Taking time to also wax the car, wiping it down constantly. You want it to be clean. You pay a lot of attention to the car and you put in a lot of effort to make it look its best. You do all of this for a bucket. Why do you do that? The answer is simple. Pride. You don't want anybody leaning on the car or doing anything that could possibly make it dirty. You watch how you park it. You pay attention to other people who park near you because you don't want them to put a dent in your door, etc. And older people who have a nice car and who have owned several cars already, they look at the youngster and just laugh, laughing because this person is doing too much to protect and preserve a bucket. But that's pride. Most parents bend over backward to protect their baby. Why? It's simple. Pride. It is not just a duty that motivates most parents. When you're talking about young kids under 5 years old, especially under 2 years old, it's brand new and you're very proud of your child, especially if it's your first child. Nobody better say anything negative about your child. Your child can be ugly, and nobody better say that because you are ready to fight. All of these typical behavior patterns about young children are characteristics of pride. Remember, to preserve and to protect. That is what you do when you are proud of something. Many people exhibit that type of pride for their pets, like a dog. Have you ever noticed that most people exhibit more effort to protect a dog that is a pure breed? That's pride. No one wants a mutt. We want pure breed dogs. They have more value to all of us. Most of the dogs that are stray dogs that you see in alleys and digging in trash cans and all of that, Most of those dogs are mutts. Why are they homeless? Because no one wants them. If someone tried to give you a mutt as a gift, most of us would refuse that offer. If you wanted to go to a shelter and purchase a dog, you want a pure breed. And if it's going to cost more money, but you are willing to pay it, you would pay top dollar for a pure breed dog as opposed to taking a mutt that's being offered for free. And when you have that pure breed dog, you spend a lot of time taking care of it, bathing it, trying to train it, treating it like it's your child. Why? It's simple. Pride. By now, you should have a clear understanding of what pride is and how it really looks. So now let's come back to black pride. If pride is to preserve and to protect, if we keep that in mind as we consider our respective behavior, we can ask the question to ourselves, is this preserving and protecting the black race? Pay attention to the two words because they are different. Preserving is to keep something the way it is, to keep it intact. So think about your behavior, your lifestyle, etc. and ask yourself if the different choices you're making, the different things you're doing, and the way you're living, whether or not those things protect and preserve the black race. So let's get into a few examples. I'm going to keep it raw and uncut. Drugs. I think everyone agrees that drugs are a problem in everybody's community. The black community is no different. If you are using drugs, you are becoming a part of the problem. How can you focus your mind on trying to elevate yourself if your mind is not right? What about those individuals who sell drugs? That is a bigger problem. Drugs are poison. So why would you sell drugs or provide drugs in any form to your own people? It makes no sense. Because marijuana has been legalized doesn't mean that it's right. Alcohol is legal, but a lot of people die from alcohol-related situations. More people die from alcohol-related situations than marijuana. And what about cigarettes? We've known for decades that smoking cigarettes will kill you, and if it does not kill you, it will cause a lot of medical problems. But people continue to do it. Community violence. It is amazing how so many black people, and not just activists, but community members, it's amazing how they complain about police brutality and police corruption. Unlawful killings of unarmed black people. We protest in the streets about the police brutalizing our community. It is definitely a problem that needs to be fixed. But my point here is not about that. I am making a comparison. In 1 year period of time, how many black people have been wrongfully murdered by law enforcement? How many black people have been murdered by other black people? You can do the research and find out the statistics, but I can tell you without any doubt that it's not even close to being equal. Far more black people die at the hands of other black people as opposed to at the hands of law enforcement. But we don't seem to be in the streets protesting about that. We can't seem to police ourselves to eliminate gang activity. Parents, for some reason, don't seem to be able to control their children. The community complains about gang activity, but they turn the blind eye, always having some excuse. Now, these different examples that I am giving you or issues which are worthy of discourse. And I will be addressing these different issues in separate speeches, but right now I'm just giving examples of things that you do which are contrary to the concept of black pride. You cannot tell me that you are proud to be black, but at the same time you are participating in gang activity, or you are participating in drugs. There are some things that are just obviously inherently contradictory to the concept of black pride. You are not protecting and preserving the black race when you engage or indulge in these various negative activities. Interracial relationships. Let's get into this. Earlier in my speech, I talked about most people preferring to have full breed dogs as opposed to mutts. When you address this example to people, most readily understand and agree that everyone wants a pedigree. No one wants mixed breed dogs. The pedigree has all the value. So let's take that principle and apply it to people. So let me start with a few questions. When you look in the mirror, do you like what you see? Do you like how people look? How black people look? Do you want your children to look like you or to look like someone else? When people have children, when a woman has a child, the man is always inspecting the child to see if there's any resemblance to him. He wants to make sure that this woman did not fool around. He wants to make sure that this child looks like him. And if that child does not look like him, he will protest. So this whole thing about race and interracial relationships has to be tied to what we believe our goal is. If you like how you look, if you like how black people look, do you want black people to continue to look that way? Do you want the black race to continue? If your goal is to maintain and preserve the black race as we know it, there are things we must do to protect and preserve it. If your goal is to preserve the black race as we know it, then you cannot have biracial babies, because that is contrary to preserving the black race. So we're back to what the goal is. If your attitude is all about willy-nilly, you simply don't care about any of that stuff, then maybe it doesn't matter if you have mixed breed children. You have to start with what your goal is, where the black race is concerned. Look at it this way. Hypothetically, if every person on the planet right now, every black person, were to have a baby with someone who is not black, that would immediately, in one generation, eliminate the black race as we know it today. Because that would mean that every child being conceived and born will be mixed. That would be the beginning of the end of the existence of the black race as we know it to be right now. But there are many black people who don't care about all that. They don't care that interracial behavior could wipe out the black race. They don't even think about it. But you can't tell me that you're proud to be black, but you want to have biracial babies. So when you say that you are proud to be black, you need to carefully understand what that really means. If you do anything that is detrimental to the black race, and you are aware that that behavior is detrimental to the black race, then logically, you cannot say that you are proud to be black. Now, if you tell me that you couldn't care less about the black race maintaining the way it currently looks, you just want to have sex with other races and you don't care if those women get pregnant, then that is a completely different story. Because you're saying it out of your own mouth that you don't care. And if you're being honest, then you're going to say, I don't have black pride. I understand that concept, what that concept means, and I don't embrace it. I don't have black pride. And that is why I am engaging in interracial relationships. And that's your choice. At least you're honest enough and intelligent enough to acknowledge that if you're doing that, if you're doing any of the things that I have described in a few examples I have given so far, that you really are not proud to be black. Because you understand that that behavior is contrary to the concept. If you can at least be honest about that, I would give you credit for that. I would give you respect for at least being honest about your decisions. But if you're telling me that you love being black, and that you love how you look, and that you love how black people look, and you do not want that to change, then you can't say all those things while at the same time having babies with people of other races. That's not logical. And we shouldn't have to debate that because there is no debate. How about crime? A lot of people in the black community are criminals. It's a sad commentary. Now, of course, we can always try to point out the exceptions. People who rationalize why they committed a crime. Some people may say they can't get a good job or some other reason that may have some merit as to their situation, but it does not justify committing crime. You may be frustrated and angry at the system for making your life difficult, and you feel like they owe you. And maybe you're right, but committing crime is not the way to get what they owe you. You use that as an excuse to commit crime. But mind you, only some people fit into that category of trying to rationalize their behavior and their criminal activity. They simply are doing wrong and they don't care. There are a lot of people in prison, which means they're not in society to help their families. They're not in society to be able to help uplift and unite the black community. Even most of the black people who are in society are not helping to unify and uplift the black community. Certainly, people in jail can't do it because you are removed from society. So you become a burden and part of the problem. So here's a bigger aspect of the equation when it comes to crime. Most of the black people who are in prison, whether they received a fair trial or not, is irrelevant. They committed crimes against other black people. So you tell me, how is that protecting and preserving the black race? It is not. No criminal who has victimized black people can tell me that he is proud to be black. I think most people simply do not understand the definition of the concept of black pride. Maybe you like being black. Maybe you like black people. But liking something and actually being proud of it is something completely different. Think about how many times you walk down the street in public and pass other black people, and they don't speak to you and you don't speak to them. But you say you like being black and you like black people, but you're not even speaking to your own people. You definitely cannot be proud of being black when you don't even like your people enough to greet them in passing. We expect the white man and the U.S. government to police us. That's absolutely absurd. White people are not concerned about trying to unify black people. White people are not trying to fix our problems. These are internal problems. These are problems that need to be resolved internally. We must police ourselves. We must hold our own people accountable. When I was growing up, everybody knew each other in the neighborhood. Every adult knew all of the children in the neighborhood. Any adult who observed misbehavior had the authority to stop you in your tracks and correct your behavior. Definitely contact your parents, and in some cases might give you a swat on the ass, and that was acceptable. You see, that falls right in line with the concept. It takes a village to raise a child. But today, you have ignorant ass black people who want to have a tantrum if other black people, other black adults try to check their misbehaving children. Instead of saying thank you, they want to lash out and say, "Don't you dare touch my child. Don't you put your hands on my child. You don't discipline my child." That's so foolish. Now, of course, we do have to be careful about other black adults who may not have their stuff together, who may not have their own principles and morals on point. And so those individuals would not be in a position to try to correct someone else's behavior. But why are those adults not on point? Because they were not taught correctly. So now we have found ourselves in a generational cycle of a lack of discipline, lack of structure. We're not on the same page. If I was doing something inappropriate in the neighborhood, any adult in the neighborhood would check me and would call my parents and tell them what's going on. If that adult in the neighborhood was not very familiar with my parents, but knew that we lived in the neighborhood, that adult would still check me, maybe even grab me by my shoulders, maybe grab my ear and march me to my house. That adult would say, "Where do you live? What are your parents' names? Let's go," and would march me to my front door and tell my parents about my misbehavior. And my parents would be grateful. But we have lost that. So if it takes a village to raise a child, they can only be successful if the village is on the same page, moving as one unit. So who is raising the village? We are now in a situation where we have to figure out how to raise the village, to get the village right, to get the village on the right page, to get the village to be on one accord. So we are now lost, and we need to find ourselves. I can sit here and give you many examples all day, and it would take days and days to cover everything. So I'm only giving you a few examples because this speech is not about dissecting all of those problems. This is about giving you an overview of black pride so that you can understand what it is, and you can understand that most of us do not really have black pride, and we need to fix that. Every individual must contribute to that solution. Every person must be held accountable. You cannot take the attitude that it won't happen, so why even bother? Why should you change your outlook and your disposition if you feel like most of the black people won't do it? Imagine if everyone is thinking like that. Then we'll never get to first base. So we need to change our individual thinking. We need to adopt a set of morals and principles that are conducive to unity and upliftment. Don't worry about the black people who are not falling in line immediately. Do your part. Your behavior is not a reflection of other people's character. It is a reflection of your own character. Where is your character? Where is your integrity? Where is your moral compass? Don't just tell me that you are proud to be black and you don't even know what the concept means. Don't tell me you're proud to be black, but your behavior contradicts that concept. Say what you mean and mean what you say. Follow a valid concept. Don't follow a man. This is a big problem around the world. A lot of us follow a man. You find someone who is charming and charismatic, and he's a good speaker, and he has something to say, and you like how he says it, and then maybe you're following what he's telling you. Maybe you join some organization because you like how someone presented it to you. So you were influenced by an individual or a few individuals. And then later down the line, those individuals who influence you to start doing something contrary to what they were preaching to you when they convinced you to join the organization or to do something positive. And when you see them let you down, then all of a sudden, you figure there's no reason for you to continue down that path. There's no reason for you to continue to be a member of that organization or to follow the messaging from those people. And so you just stop. And this is the problem. Do not follow a man. The man is simply a vehicle for the message, whatever that message may be. Do not follow a man. Follow a concept, a valid concept. Hear me clearly. I said follow a valid concept. The concept must be valid. If the concept is valid, it will never fail. Does that make sense to you? So even if one of the leaders of the concept were to go astray, it doesn't change the fact that the concept is valid. So you continue to follow that concept. As long as you're following the concept, then it's not a problem when a man one day does some backward stuff. You keep on that path because you know that the concept is valid. Think about all the things I'm telling you now. If what I'm telling you is true, then follow this sage advice. Don't follow me because I am a man. If I don't have integrity, I may fall off. But if what I'm telling you is correct, if the concept I'm sharing with you is correct, it won't fail you. Continue to follow the concept even if I follow off. I'm giving you the science. I'm giving you the knowledge. It's up to you what you do with that information. Right now, I'm doing a good job in following my own advice. But I don't want you to follow me. We will always have people in the community who do not want to follow what is right. And we are going to have to police ourselves in order to eliminate that problem. That is what I call progress from elimination. There are many problems that plague the black community. Some of those problems are people in the community. You have bad apples in every community. And it's not just misbehavior, it's also the culture that we have created. We have normalized tattoos, drinking alcohol, and so much more. We have accepted many of our community members sagging their pants. We have accepted gang activity. We don't like it, but we're not doing anything to stop it. We are depending on the white people and the government to stop it, but they couldn't care less. We have accepted all sorts of misbehavior, and we must eliminate all of this if we are to one day be united and start uplifting the black community so that we can start seeing success on a cultural level as well as an economic level. Once again, that's what I call progress from elimination. Progress from elimination. Asante Sana.